traveling at, say, 55 miles per hour on a state highway and farm equipment is traveling at, say, 35 miles per hour, 25 miles per hour, we're obviously going to approach that equipment very quickly. If you see farm equipment, you generally always need to be ready to at least take your foot off the accelerator. That way you can judge what's happening up ahead and what that farm equipment's doing. It may be slowing to make a turn into a field, so you need to be able to make that judgment before you decide to pass that farm equipment, whether or not that farm equipment's about to make a turn. The heavier it is, the longer the stopping distance is. Just same way with farm equipment. They can't stop on a dime. It takes a large amount of time and distance for a large piece of equipment to stop.
Have you witnessed any issues with texting and driving related to not only maybe farmers texting and driving, but also motorists on the roadway?
Yeah, if you're traveling 55 miles per hour, for example, people don't realize, and if you put the math to that and do the formulas involved with that, if you're traveling 55 miles per hour on a roadway, you're traveling more than 80 feet per second. So if you're texting and driving and it takes you 1 second to look at that phone and look back up at the roadway, you've already traveled over 80 feet. And that is, people don't realize how fast that is, and then what kind of a distance you're closing in on a piece of farm equipment that's ahead of you if you're not paying attention to the roadway. So to put it in perspective, if you're traveling 55 miles per hour, in just over 4 seconds, you've already traveled the length of a football field. So if you're looking at your cell phone for 4 seconds and look up, you've already traveled the entire length of a football field, and you could be already struck a piece of equipment, ran another vehicle off the roadway, injured or killed yourself or somebody else. It's just not worth it. That text can wait. I think we've seen ad campaigns that say that. I mean, texting can wait. It's not that important. What's important is that you're paying attention to the roadway, hands on the wheel. That's always important. It goes along with the common courtesy. That's not common courtesy. That could be somebody's life.
So Danny, Sheriff Sanderson mentioned too that sometimes people don't realize just how slow farm equipment's going. At the average, you probably travel, what, 25, 30 miles per hour when you're going down the roadway, and that's if it's good road conditions. Yeah. Have you ever had any experiences where people will come right up on your equipment and not realize how fast you're going?
Yeah, absolutely. We had an incident a few years back where a gentleman in a pickup come up too fast behind us, and we was moving our backhoe down the highway, and he plowed right into the back of us. And thank goodness nobody was hurt. It caught his truck on fire, and it burnt to the ground right in the middle of the highway. But you know, the man, you know, he said afterwards that he didn't realize that how slow we were going, and just wasn't really paying attention like he probably should have been. And of course, an accident occurred.
Yeah, so you've done your due diligence to make sure those lights were working. You had the emblems there to help the driver as well.
Correct.
But they just didn't realize how slow you were going.
Correct.